Gerald Ford, the business magnate, was known because he was the owner of the entire Ford business, and he was one day sitting in his office when an elderly gentleman came to him and said he would like to talk to him. He asked who he was, and he said he was an employee of Ford, and they had just received his annual bonus, and he was feeling guilty. Ford was surprised. He asked him, "Why are you not happy with what you got?" He said, "No, sir, the problem is that I've been overpaid to a huge extent." It took Ford by surprise and asked him, why did he feel like that? He said, "See, sir," and he pointed to the distant window where a lot of employees were there chatting and coming in and out of their workplace, and said that those people who are my colleagues, they work for so many hours in a day, and they produce the cars which makes our company so famous and full of business. So I really admire them, and I wish I were like them. Ford was intrigued and asked him, "Why? What do you do here in this company?" He said, "Oh, sir, I'm just but a gardener." "Oh, you're a gardener?" He said. "Okay, good. Now, where is your garden?" And he said, "Sir, it is right behind where you sit." So Ford turned out and looked at the garden and then smiled and said, "My dear friend, you have been underpaid. I'm sorry that I have underpaid you." Ford was shocked and surprised. I mean, the man was shocked and surprised, and he said, "Sir, how do you say that?" He said, "Who am I?" He asked. He said, You are Ford, the owner of the Ford company." And he asked, what sort of work I do. He said that you make so many decisions, and all those decisions can give the company profits of billions or loss of billions, whichever way you do. And then Ford said, "I'll give you one secret, my friend. When I have to take a decision, being the sole owner, I do not so much go for the thoughts and the inputs of others, which I do only for a short while. The rest of it, what I have from them, I turn round, pull down the blind behind my office, and see the garden in front of me. As soon as I see the garden, within 5 minutes, I'm on a world of my own, and I can suddenly, almost for so many years, think in a manner which I've never thought otherwise if I don't look at the garden." So, who was the person who runs for me? In my book, sir, you are the person. The gardener was shocked, and they couldn't understand, but yet he was, of course, grateful to Ford that he acknowledged his contribution to the company, and then Ford gave him a management lesson of his life. "It is only teamwork," he said. Everybody has a job, everybody here comes to contribute, and everybody does his maximum productivity. So, all these things happen, and in our own lives, in all the companies we work, we have the same way to do. Each one is a cog in the wheel, and without that cog, nothing happens. And there is no question of who works very hard or who works smartly or who is not a good employee. All that is only conjecture. The main thing that if we realize that we have a job and we are skillful and we know our skills and trust our skills, we can give the required output so that everything is harnessed towards the final product and ensure all the quality norms in the company. It sounds very simple and sounds very nice, but there are people who may not fit the bill, may not be able to produce the way it is required, and all these things come into play. So the whole aspect of it is that if you look at the way the Japanese or the Koreans work, they ensure that everybody is given a job, and a job which they are so well trained that they cannot not but do it. Of course, there is an internal argument between multi-skilling and single proficiency. But that, of course, is another huge chapter which we have to discuss at some stage when we go deep into our quest of knowledge as far as industry is concerned. But the thing is that what I wanted to point out to my dear friends is that if we work and we do what we have to do, what we are supposed to do, and over a period of time, we know that yes, this is what is to be done and this is the optimum. Because we are paid for it and we do it, so we know that the way we do it is the right way. So this takes care of what we have. The idea that teamwork is only that everybody contributes, it's also there. But individual brilliance, ensuring that they pull the others along. Which brings me back to another story of the famous movie Ben Hur. There, Sheikh Ilderman, the person who gives his white horses to Ben Hur to ride in the famous chariot race against Messala, points out the value of the horses in his team. Each horse, he said, has a particular skill. He points out that this one is an expert on the outer because he can manage the curves well. The one in the middle will pull all the other three because of its top speed. The one beside controls the other three, and ensures that we are all on course. The last one has been trained also to take the curves and ensure that there are no mishaps. If we can train horses in that manner, of course, horses